Big Slick here, and today's project is to replace the motor on this HART 40 volt string trimmer. The motor burned up in a little over a year of very light duty use, and even though it has a 5-year warranty, the catch on the warranty is that the warranty facility, you have to take it there, and they're an hour drive, which means that by the time you take it to them, drive home, then they take about a month, which is what they told me, to fix it, and then you go back and then bring it back again. You have 4 hours of travel time in order to accommodate this warranty claim, and I don't find that acceptable. And personally, I would not recommend buying one of these HART string trimmers. It's just not a good deal in my opinion. If you knew all this thing had been used and was well maintained, you can see that it's actually quite clean. Still even has all the decals and that on it. It's very unacceptable that this thing burned up, and I literally saw it release the magic smoke. So what I did was I went ahead and bought this replacement motor, which probably won't last much longer than the original one did. It is an original motor. It's branded as a Home Light. The part number is 742225001. And I bought this at Amazon. It's available at other places. It's going to cost you around 40 bucks, including tax. So we're going to go ahead and replace this today. The way you do this, first you're going to take off the 4 screws that hold the shroud on, and then you'll come around here. You have to peel back this HART sticker or slice it in the middle, whichever you prefer. And then what you're going to do is take out these 6 star drive screws that are right here. As you see, every place my thumb is pointing here. There's 6 of these star drives, and the 4 that hold the shroud on is these are Phillips head screws. So I'll go ahead and pull those out and show you what's inside. The only thing inside this head, as far as I know, is the motor itself, and there's only 2 wires to put it on. So we'll go ahead and take this cover off and the shroud off, and we'll open it up. Okay, a couple minutes later, and the cover's off, and as you see, there is literally nothing in here except this little motor, and the part number is identical on here to the new one. So what we're going to do is we'll try to cut these wires as long as possible to give us maximum flexibility, and I'll go ahead and get this off right now. Okay, here's a trick. You're going to have to get this spool assembly off of here. This motor just picks right out. It's just held in by friction with this little like plastic plate right here that it screws onto. So once you lift it out of here, I'm putting a pair of vice grips on the back, and you just simply unscrew this counterclockwise, and you can take this whole spool right off of here. Just like that. And so now you're basically right at the motor. So all you have to do is take these 2 screws off right here that hold it onto this little plastic plate, and then they have like these press style wing nuts here, and I'm just gonna eliminate these and probably directly solder them, but I suppose you could try using wing nuts if you wanted to, if you don't have a soldering iron or you don't have the ability to solder. So I'll go ahead and get this plate off of here now and start working with the wires right here. Okay, while I had this apart, I went ahead and cleaned out any of the little bit of residue that was on both this side of the shroud and the spool here. But I think, as you saw originally, there was very little debris inside of here. And also, a friend of mine had asked me, did I ever cut grass with this whenever the grass was wet? No, I never do that. Number one, it's not safe because where I'm using this at, it's on a hillside. But number 2, it's just a lot harder to do the job. So I just wait until, you know, the grass is dry, and I mean like totally dry, before I go ahead and cut. So yeah, there's no reason this should have failed. I bought this May 30th, 2022, and this is currently around August 10th of 2023. So you're talking only about 14 months or so that I own this, and then if you had an hour meter on this, this thing probably doesn't have 10 hours on it, because I have very little string trimming to do. So it's quite unacceptable, and this thing really smells bad, this motor, because it went up in smoke, and it still has that lingering let the magic smoke out smell that you get on electronics. So this is quite sad. This is a very poorly designed motor. It looks underpowered to do this job. Well, in any event, I'm going to go ahead and clean the bottom cover off a little bit and go ahead and cut these wires now. Okay, the new motor is installed, and you see I cleaned the bottom cover. I went ahead and used heat shrink and soldered each connection black to black and red to white. And I have the wires neatly tucked into the bottom down here. The strain relief is back in the same as it was originally, and now all I have to do is the final assembly. Okay, it's all back together. I cleaned up the shroud here, and again, as you see, this unit was really in beautiful condition. It's almost like new. It's been used so little, all the decals, everything. So it's hard to figure how poor quality this motor must have been that it died so quickly. So what I'll do is I'll set the camera down now and fire it up, show you that it works. So as you see, it's working good with the new motor, but for how long, that's the big question. As far as I'm concerned, HART owes me at least the $40 that I have in this motor, because I don't find that warranty to be especially good. When you expect a person to invest 4 hours of their time in order to take it to a service center because it's that far away. And it's not like I don't have a lot of service centers for other type of products such as Steel or Husqvarna. Honestly, they're everywhere. So for them to have something that's only an hour away, it's kind of unacceptable, and they wouldn't seem to work with me on anything else. I asked them politely, would you send me a motor? Would you reimburse the motor? I didn't get anywhere with the people, so I'm not very impressed with that. I would suggest that you buy a different product, such as a DeWalt, something a little more reputable. As far as I'm concerned, this HART stuff is junk. I wouldn't buy it again, and that's my opinion. So in case you need to repair yours because you had a poor warranty experience also, hopefully this video will help. Thanks a lot. Bye.